Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of The Week Ahead. Last week, a legislative session.
It is.
They're winding down. They're supposed to be done on Friday. All they have to do is deal with the budget before they get out of here,
Which is not a small task.
which is not a small
But they will
task.
get it done.
They will. Right now, as of this morning, they're separated by about $1 million in terms of what a package would look like for a supplemental budget. Unfortunately, it is going to hold up the remainder of their work. They did move a lot of paper last
Yes.
week, and they do need to be out by Friday, and they will come back for a veto day. Which in and of itself is unusual because usually at the end of the second session there's pocket vetoes, but the legislature is going to want to take up a number of the vetoes that will be issued, so they will have to come back to vote on those. So they may have a day or two to work on that. There's still the issue of the minimum wage.
Yep.
Will there be a competing measure? We don't know yet. That's in the control of the Senate at this point. There are 3 different options in the Senate. They will be voting on those this week. Education?
Yeah, there's some education reform bills that still need to make their way through the legislative process this week. LD 1627 being the chief among them, but there's a couple others that go with them. We don't suspect there'll be any issues with them, but we're still going to follow and make sure that they come to the end of the process and are acted upon by the legislature, because they're important for our K through 12 education, our proficiency-based education system as we move forward. Over on natural resources, one bill that's still outstanding, LD 1578, having to do with the battery stewardship program proposal. I did run into some hurdles, which we have severe concerns with this piece of legislation in terms of facing a potential governor's veto. So there's some talk of trying to change that and amend it. I don't think there will be enough there. There's not enough time to get it done this week, but hopefully we'll keep tracking that bill, and hopefully we'll see its final demise this week.
This is always a tough week, especially when there's a lot of dissent over the budget issue. The legislature needs to come together to get their work done. I think they will. It's always a difficult process in the last 4 or 5 days. But obviously we'll be watching what's happening very closely. We'll be keeping you up to date. You can look for a final summary edition of Impact that'll give you a total wrap up of the session. And we'll probably do one more week ahead when it comes time for veto day.
Yeah.
So until then, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to talking with you again.
Stay classy, man.